what's up?
Now just recording a podcast. What's up with you?
Oh, not too much. You know what, though?
What?
You need a counselor.
Thanks, so do you.
I do need a counselor. You're right. Hi, I'm Julie Johnson. Welcome to the You Need a Counselor podcast. We are a therapist and a behavioral health intervention counselor bringing a discussion every single week about why you need a counselor, why we need a counselor, and why you need a counselor. Because you do. Trust us. You need one. And trust us that we need one. So we are really, really excited to bring you this episode today. We're going to be talking about BHIS. And that's not BS. A lot of times people think that we're saying BS, but we're not. We're saying Behavioral Health Intervention Services, BHIS. BHIS. So we're really excited to bring that to you today. So I'm Julie Johnson. I am the president and founder of Heart and Solutions, a strength-based counseling agency here in Iowa. We are located in Cedar Rapids, Marion, Waterloo, Grundy Center, Mason City, Ankeny, Jefferson, Ames, and Davenport. And Marshall.
Davenport.
You guys, we're growing. We're going fast. We're located in all of those areas. And right now we are offering telehealth services. So if you live anywhere in Iowa, if you live close to those locations and want in-person, great, we are offering that. But if you live anywhere else in Iowa, but you want to try phone counseling, we can do that as well. Or computer counseling where you're on computer video, we can do that also. So give us a call if you want to get started, because you definitely need a counselor.
And I'm Chrissa. I am the vice president at Heart and Solutions. So I am in charge of that BHIS, Behavioral Health Intervention Services department that Julie was talking about. So like Julie mentioned, we will be going more into detail on what a BHIS session looks like. And the mission of our podcast is that we are a podcast designed for people curious about counseling but have barriers preventing them from experiencing the benefits of counseling. Our mission is to share stories about counseling, good, bad, and indifferent, and spread the message that everyone can benefit from mental health and behavioral health counseling services.
So we usually have guests, but we haven't had a guest in a little bit.
No, you get to hear us like weeks in a row.
Yes. And we called into the 800 number. So just to kind of catch people up on kind of this little mini series, I guess, within the podcast. So in one of the episodes, we went over the referral form. So what does it sound like, or what do you need to know before you even call in? Like, what are you going to need to have in front of you? You want your insurance card, you want your social security number, or if you're calling in for your child, you want their information, things that you want to have in front of you before you call in. And then when you call in, we went through a real life phone call from our administrative assistant, Linda Ferguson, who is wonderful. You probably felt like you had a counseling session after hearing
just on that.
hearing that intake and getting to hear in real time, what does it sound like when you call that 800 number? Who's on the other end of that phone, and what do they sound like, and what do they want? That's what they want. So then we went ahead and kind of did the next step on there. So after you call in, you get set up in our system as a new client. Then the therapist will contact you to do an initial assessment. And that is that first appointment that I always describe as the super boring, pretty nosy assessment sessions. So that's where we go over all the consent paperwork that takes forever. We go over a bunch of really personal questions. Sometimes they're hopefully not invasive, but they are sometimes like more personal than what your counselor will then initially talk to you about. Okay, so listen to that episode, go back and listen to that before you go into your assessment, just so that you can kind of get an idea of what kinds of things they might be asking you for information on. Okay, we post every Sunday night at 5:00 p.m. So save up your laundry all week. Just don't, every day of the week that you're not doing laundry, just think about us. Because you're not doing laundry on that day because you're saving it up. You're saving it up so you can listen to You Need a Counselor on Sunday night and batch up all your laundry and get it done all at one time. That is the most efficient way to do anything. So we post on Sunday nights. That gives you all week also to listen to us on Monday morning if you want to in your morning routine or your commute, and also to call your counselor within the next 5 days to get scheduled or to call in and get an assessment scheduled. So now we're pretending that we have done this assessment with Cinderella and her stepmother, Evil. And we are now going into this next part. So we're going to pretend now that I am Evil, stepmom, and Chrissa is my BHIS counselor. So we're going to pretend today that this is our very first session. I have never met this girl before, and now she's in my house. Like, what do you want?
Yeah, so I'll go over how the session starts, what we do at the beginning of our session. We do have an expectation sheet that we'll go over, and so we'll review that together, and then we'll do a session example activity as well, so you can kind of see what an activity might be that we would do in session with you guys.
So Chrissa's going to go over the expectation sheet, kind of the information she goes over in the beginning of the BHIS session with me as Evil stepmom. After that, we're going to switch gears a little bit and start into the actual BHIS technique. And I am going to pretend that I am Cinderella for that session. Okay, so we'll let you know when we're switching it up, but we're hoping that this works.
We haven't practiced, so we'll just wing it.
We haven't practiced. So here, you've practiced the BHIS expectation sheet quite a number of times in real life. Obviously, that is like second nature to you, but in terms of switching out the role plays and stuff, we're going to see how we go. All right, this is real life, guys. I'm going to do a screen share so that anybody that is watching us on YouTube, a video, can go ahead and see exactly what Chrissa is referencing here as well.
All right, so we'll just start and pretend that I just walked into your house. So we'll knock on the door.
Hello.
Hi, are you Evil?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Chrissa. I'm here to work with Cindy and you guys today on your first BHIS session. Hi, Cindy. How are you?
Good.
Good. Okay, can I come in and join you guys today?
Yeah, you can have a seat wherever you want.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so from
Don't mind Buster. He's really friendly and he won't bite you, but he is really curious, so he'll probably sniff you a lot.
Okay, sounds good.
He's
I like
really
animals.
friendly.
Okay, perfect. I saw that you liked animals too in your assessment, so we'll get along, I think. Okay, perfect. So some of the goals that I had read in your guys' assessment was the first, Cindy, that you were wanting to work on listening and following directions, focusing and concentrating, and some of her relationship building skills with friends and siblings or stepsisters, and EVO with you as well. Does that sound about right for what goals you guys are wanting through BHIS sessions?
Yes, definitely the listening to directions is something that we really want to try to work on.
Okay, perfect. I brought an activity today that I think will be good to help work on that goal too. So first step then is that we'll go over.
And they said in the assessment that you're going to play a lot of games.
Yeah, yep. We will do some games. So we do make it hands-on for her as well. So it is fun for Cindy, but we are also working on those skills and goals at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So first step is we're going to go over our BHIS session expectation sheet. And this is just what some of our rules are. I know some of them were reviewed already with you in your assessment, but a lot of info was gone over in that assessment. So that way you have this copy that we'll leave with you at home here as well. So the first thing on here is our cancellation policy. I think this was discussed with you at your assessment, but just a reminder that we do have a late cancel or no-show policy. So we would like at least 24 hours notice if you ever do need to cancel a session. If you do cancel 3 sessions in 3 months, then you would be placed on standby status, late cancel or no-show. Standby status just means that we need a 24-hour notice if you would like to schedule an appointment, just so there is a less time from when you're making the appointment to when we're having the appointment, so less chance of cancellation. So, for example, if you wanted to be seen on like a Wednesday, you would need to contact me by Tuesday to schedule for that Wednesday session. As long as you keep 3 appointments on standby status, we would go back to regular scheduling, but if you were to no-show or late cancel, again, when you are on that standby status, we would discharge at that time. So just a reminder for canceling sessions, as long as we do have that 24 hours notice, then none of those warnings would go into effect. Does that all make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Next hours, so we do want to just give you a little notice about what sessions will be like. Cindy was approved for 2 hours a week through her insurance provider, so that means that she was given an hour of individual time and then an hour of family time per session. So for that family hour, a parent or guardian does have to be present for that, so we will need you to participate at least half of her session time. Also, for contacting me as her provider, you have my phone number here as well, and I'm always available to be contacted by phone or text between the hours of 9 to 5. If you were to call or text after that time, I may not respond until again tomorrow at 9 to 5. It was after those office hours. But if you do call between 9 to 5 and I miss it, I will return your call as long as it's between those hours. So then my phone number is on here, and if you ever do need to cancel a session or reschedule, please go ahead and contact that number. So it might be good to save that in your phone now as well, so that way you have it in case you ever need to get a hold of me. If you contact the 800 number, Linda, who you called to get set up with services, she would be the one who would answer that, but it doesn't go directly to me. So just to make sure that I'm aware that you are canceling, make sure that you contact my number. If you ever have any questions, or if I, for some reason, didn't show up to a session on time, or any questions, concerns, compliments, anything like that, my supervisor, Julie, her phone number is on here as well. So you can contact her also with any questions that you have. Questions on that part at all?
No, seems pretty straightforward.
Okay, perfect. Session expectations. So BHIS sessions will either always take place in the home office or in a private confidential space at Cindy's school. If you are wanting to do school sessions with Cindy, we will need the school's permission as well. So we can follow up with the school if that's something you are interested in. We can't take her out of any core classes, so not any required class time, but lunch, recess, homeroom, study hall, different times like that, we are able to see her in a private room at the school if that's something you'd be interested in. Otherwise, sessions do usually take place at home or office, and they are after school hours when Cindy is in school during the school year. Next, we are all.
I don't think we're going to want to do sessions at school.
No? Okay, that's totally fine. So the rest of our sessions can either be home or office after school hours, so we don't interrupt school time.
Because at school, she just does what she's supposed to do. She like hardly gets in trouble at school, and it's just mostly at home that she just decides not to listen. So
okay, yeah, that makes sense. That way we can work on it in the environment where she does get distracted. That does sound like a good plan. The next thing is that we did mention this at your assessment as well, but we are all mandatory reporters at Heart and Solutions for both child and dependent adult abuse. So if we ever have a reason to think that we need to suspect a child or elderly or incapacitated adult is being abused, we are required by law to report that to the Department of Human Services. So I will have to report that to DHS if we ever do have a reason to suspect anything. So just a heads up that we are all mandatory reporters. Just a reminder as well that we will not share any information about you, your family, Cindy, any of her services with Heart and Solutions without a signed release of information that is signed by you as the guardian. Anytime anyone other than Cindy or you or her stepsisters are in the home, we will have you sign a release before we continue a session so that you are agreeing for that person to hear any information that we talk about in BHIS session. Also, we are not allowed as employees to spend personal time with clients or family members of clients outside of our regular session time. So this does include attending outside family or school events for you guys, holidays, socializing on the phone or in person, or spending time with the client or family of the client in non-private places. So we can't take Cindy out in public during session time to like the store or the mall or parks or things like that. The sessions again have to be at the home or office or school. Also, unfortunately, we are not allowed to be friends with clients on social media outside of our work, so we have to just stay in session time. But you are able to like our Heart and Solutions social media pages. We do have a Facebook and Instagram, a Twitter, and a Pinterest account, so you are welcome to like or follow any of those pages and see any information updates about providers or the agency in general. So those are always available for you as a client to like or follow. And then last thing, just a reminder about our health and safety of our employees. So Heart and Solutions employees do reserve the right to end a session if we ever feel unsafe in any way. Additionally, by you signing this document, you are agreeing that if any member of your session does not conduct themselves in a respectful manner to any team member, confidentiality rights might have to be waived and the police might have to be contacted depending on the situation. Also, should a team member be physically injured by another person in the session, in the office, or while performing our work duties, we do reserve the right to file appropriate legal and civil charges in that case. Any questions on any of that stuff?
no.
Okay, so I'm just going to have you sign this. I will just take a picture of it so I can email it to myself and we can put it in Cindy's file, and then I'll leave this hard copy here with you so we can put it on your fridge or somewhere where you'll see it and remember it.
Okay.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so that is all that we need to go over that's paperwork-wise in our first session. Now we will switch and I'll work with Cindy on her first activity that we talked about that we'll be working on, listening and following directions.
So I'm excited to be Chrissa's client right now. Chrissa and I do a lot of role playing for interviews, but usually Chrissa plays my mom. And I have not, it's been a while since I've had
I know, I haven't role played as a counselor in a long time, years probably.
Yeah, sometimes we've done it for like third interviews sometimes where we have you demonstrate something.
Yeah.
It's been
But
a
yeah,
while.
it's been a long time. I know, I feel like my voice like switches to like counselor mode when I'm like going over the BHIS expectation sheet and talking with
Nice.
Sunny. Okay, so are you switched over to Cindy?
Yes.
Okay, so now we'll do an activity so you guys can see an example of what a BHIS activity session looks like. Okay, hi Cindy, how are you?
Good.
Good. Okay, one of the things that your
How
stepmom,
are you?
I'm good. It's nice out today. It's nice and sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really sunny. I wanted to go outside, but I can't yet because I have to sweep up and stuff.
Oh, yeah. You have a lot of chores you have to do at home.
Yeah, like sweeping, and then I'll have to do the dishes, and then I'll have to do the laundry. But maybe after that, I can go outside.
Yeah. And I heard that sometimes you struggle with focusing and getting your chores done on time so you can do the fun stuff you want to do.
Yeah, sometimes I don't get to do stuff like go outside if I don't get my chores done.
So maybe we can help you work on getting your stuff done faster so you can focus and get them done so that you do get to do that fun stuff like go outside. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I had a fun activity I thought we could try today that will work on listening and following directions and getting you to focus and complete a task that will be at the end. Does that sound fun?
I don't know, what is it?
Okay, so it's called Guess What's in My Hand. So I have something in my hand right now that you can't see. Yeah, I already picked it up and it's in my hand. You didn't even see me do it. So we're gonna play
Is it a spider?
You're gonna have to guess what it is. I'm gonna give you 2 rules to follow, okay?
What is it though?
You're gonna have to guess. Are you ready to hear what the 2 rules are?
Yeah.
Okay, the first rule is you can only ask me yes or no questions. So questions where I will only say yes or no as the answer, okay?
Okay.
And then the second rule is you can only ask me 10 questions to try and guess what's in my hand.
10 questions?
Yes or no questions, okay? So do you got the 2 rules?
10 questions?
Yep, that's the first rule. And do you remember the other rule was?
Yes or no questions.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so you can ask me 10 questions, and then at the end, I'll show you it if you got it right, or you can give one final guess if you want to try and guess what's in
Can I
my hand.
have it?
You can't have it, but then you can pick something and have me guess at the end if you want to.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right, so you ready for question number 1?
It's in your hand? In
Yeah.
your whole hand?
Yeah, well, it's in my hands. What do you mean in my whole hand? I'm holding it right now.
Is the whole thing in your hand?
Yes. Is that what your first question, or is that just a question?
No, that doesn't count.
Okay, you ready?
That's just the guess. The guess of the game.
Okay. Yes, it's in my hand right now. Listen. You hear it hit the desk?
Yeah.
In my hand. Okay, question
What
1.
is it?
Well, you have to only ask yes or no questions to guess. Remember, so you got to listen to the guesses and no's that I give you and try and remember what questions you asked and what the answers were so you can help guess what it is.
Is it food?
Is that your first question?
Yes.
No, it's not food.
Oh, man.
Okay, that's the question 1. Okay, what's question 2?
Is it a rock?
Nope, not a rock.
It sounded like a rock.
Yeah, it did sound like one. What are they made out of?
They're heavy.
They're heavy.
And they're made of rocks.
Maybe it might be something heavy. You'll have to ask maybe and find out.
Is it a hammer?
Nope, not a hammer. That's 3.
Is it a boulder?
No, that would be really heavy. It's in my hands, remember? So it's not food. It's not a rock.
Really heavy.
It's not a hammer. It's not a boulder. That's 4. You have 6 more questions.
Can I do it now?
You have 6 more to go, and then you can pick something, and I'll get to show you at the end what it is. Maybe try and guess what it looks like or what you could use it for.
Is it blue?
Nope, there's no blue on it. That's 5. You're halfway there.
Is it for fun?
Yeah, it can be for fun. This is a hard game.
Is it for eating?
Eating? Could be. Eating or drinking. We'll say yes to that if it's for eating or drinking, yes. That's 6 questions. You're super close, I feel.
It's for drinking?
Yes. That's 7.
Is it a cup?
large cup. What were you going to say? I think you know it.
Is it a mug?
Yes, it's a mug. You want to see it? And you got it in 8 questions. Look at that. You didn't even need the full 10.
It was so hard.
Do you want to see what it
I
is?
got it in 8 questions.
Look, it's a Christmas mug. It has reindeer all over it.
Not even Christmas right now.
I know, but I just always have it here with me next to me.
Why are you drinking out of a Christmas mug when it's not even Christmas?
Because I like Christmas. But do you see how you stayed focused and you were able to think of all the questions that I said yes to and be able to problem solve and figure out the answer by listening to all the different
clues? Yeah, because I asked if it was food, but you said it wasn't food. But then it sounded like a rock. And you said it wasn't a boulder or a rock or a hammer.
Yep. What clue gave it away? Which clue helped you guess?
Drinking?
Yeah, the drinking one. Yeah, that was a good guess. You did a good job. Thank you for doing that one. Do you want to pick something now for me to guess?
Fun.
Well, it can be fun if you drink like hot chocolate out of it or another fun drink. You can have fun with it. And it's a fun looking mug. There's reindeer all over it.
Not even October.
It was the first day of fall yesterday though, so it's almost Christmas. Do you want to pick something for me to guess?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in my hand.
All right, are you ready?
But you can only ask yes or no questions.
Okay, do I get 10 questions like your rule?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
No?
2
How many
questions
do I? 2 questions. Okay, and then, this is going to be tricky. Is it hard?
Yes.
Is it used for eating or drinking?
No. You lost.
What was it?
No, I'm not going to tell you. You guessed
I don't get to know. But I already asked my 2 questions.
You can have 10 questions.
I can have 10. Okay, that is fair. Is it a phone?
Did you look at it?
No, I just guessed. I was thinking,
Cheating?
what would Cindy have in her hand right now? No. Oh, it was a phone. Oh, fun. Is that a Spider-Man phone? That's really cool. And look,
Did
see,
you
were able
look
to
at
say
it?
I didn't. I had no idea, I guess.
Guess it 3 times.
Because it was something hard that would be around you, because it didn't take you long to find something and it wasn't like a cup or a bowl or something like that. So I just guessed the phone would be around you. I don't know. I played this game a lot, maybe.
You're good at it.
Yeah, you were really good too. And do you like how you stayed focused and completed it super fast? You were able to figure it out in 10 questions. So if you use that same focus and concentration while you're sweeping and doing your dishes and your other chores at home, maybe you can help do them quickly too, since you're staying focused on one.
That one seemed really, really hard to guess it, because it could be anything. And it was really heavy like a rock, but it wasn't a rock.
You're right. It sounded
like a rock.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tricky. But you were able to stay focused on it. Okay. Is that the phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little quieter than the mug.
It's lighter than a mug.
Yeah.
It's plastic.
Yeah. But do you think you can use that same focusing then when you do your chores at home to help it speed up a little bit? And we'll keep practicing every week when I come. We'll do different activities to practice your focusing and your listening skills and your following directions. So that way you'll get really good and quick at doing everything that you feel your stepmom asks of you, so you can get to do the fun stuff that you want to do too.
So I can go play faster.
Yeah, so you can get to go outside sometimes too. All right, well, I will see you next week then at our same time, okay? Does that sound good?
Okay.
All right, bye, Cindy.
Bye.
All right, there we go. So that was a pretend BHIS session activity.
Yeah, I really like that because, of course, we're not in the same place. And so that is a really great technique or activity that our counselors can do, even over the phone. Yeah. I mean, even over the phone is kind of nice, because it also takes away the opportunity for the kid to see what it is, or for the counselor to see what it is. Yeah. And really challenging that child, but in a fun way, but challenging that child to stay engaged, stay focused with the task, to figure out the task, even though the task seems challenging. And I think a lot of times when it's difficult for children to focus on things, it's because those tasks seem really challenging and they seem overwhelming. And even as adults, we get overwhelmed by tasks, and sometimes even
no one
simple
wants
tasks.
to do their chores.
Yeah, simple tasks that are like 15-minute tasks, but they feel like they're going to take forever, and so then we just don't do them, right? Or we put them off till the next day or the next week. And so I really like that activity because it does do something fun. There's motivation for that child to practice that skill and kind of build that muscle of how do I work through and complete something that seems too hard to do or that seems really hard. And be able to do it. So yeah, I liked that a lot. I loved how you highlighted the way that that child did focus on certain things. So Cindy, you know, we know from her assessment that she has a hard time focusing with things. And there were a couple times where Cindy said, like, can I do it? Can I be the next one? Or, you know, and then as the counselor, just coming back to the goal. And coming back to the game and kind of redirecting a little bit and just making it fun, making it engaging, so that there is motivation of, like, as a kid, why would I want to work on this skill? Well, I want to know what's in your hand.
Yeah, and you want to be able to, like, have me guess as well. So, like, getting to do that at the end, I think, helped to motivate her to do it. Yeah. So you could pick something.
Absolutely, and I thought you did a good job too of figuring out my motivation for, like, why I would care about chores.
Yeah, to get to go outside. Yeah.
Great. Well, we hope that this is helpful to anybody watching or listening, just to think about kind of what those behavioral health intervention sessions look like and sound like. And also, sometimes it's hard to kind of conceptualize, like, well, they're playing games. So how does that translate into the skills that my child needs? Or how does that translate into changing some of the behaviors that are concerning to me? And so we hope that this demonstration was really helpful to kind of see how those skills are built in real time. And of course, that was like 10 minutes of one session. Right?
Yeah, but we still have 2 hours to go.
Yes, and so doing those kinds of activities over and over again every week consistently can really, really help that child. Just like weightlifting, you're building up those muscles, really helps that child to build up that skill and that tolerance for doing hard things so that they can apply that to school or the things that they need to do at home.
There are some activity examples on our Heart and Solutions Facebook page and our YouTube account as well. So if you want to get to watch some other videos of what some other sessions look like, we have some of our actual BHIS counselors on there doing some videos also, which will help you give some other ideas of what a session can look like. Yeah.
Awesome. So we just want to again say that Heart and Solutions, if you are in Iowa, give us a call. These behavioral health intervention sessions that Chrissa just demonstrated for us, that can be done in home, that can be done in one of our office locations, that can be done over the phone, and that can be done over the computer with video and sound. So many different options to hopefully fit your family's needs, your schedule, your lifestyle, and any transportation issues. Right now, we can do that telehealth, so you can still get the benefit of those sessions without even having to go anywhere. So, or interact with anybody face to face, right? Yeah. So give us a call. Our number is 800-531-4236. And as you know, if you call that number, you're gonna get Linda on the line. So tell her we said hi and let her know that she did a great job on the video, because she'll want to know that. And we really just encourage you to call. Give us a call this week. If you don't live in Iowa, go to Psychology Today. Psychology Today. Put in your zip code, put in your insurance type, and you're going to get a big list of different counselors in your area. Also, this is not a sponsored video, but like, hello. We're available. Psychology Today. If you're looking, we're here. We use your services. We are subscribed to it. We just really, really enjoy it. We think it's great, and we want to make sure that as many people know about that resource as possible. So go find yourself a counselor. Also, Breathing Through the Year, A Child's Guide to Holiday Themed Breathing Techniques is my self-published book. You can find that at storiesfromtheheart.shop.
And like Julie mentioned at the beginning, we do post every Sunday night at 5 p.m. So save up your laundry. Think about us all week while you're not doing your laundry.
Yes.
So you have a good excuse to wait until Sunday evening while you're doing your chores for the week. And you can listen to us or Monday while you're getting ready for work or school or whatever it is, and help you prepare for that week by listening to us in the morning on Mondays as well.
Yeah, you can also send us a message on Facebook at You Need a Counselor Podcast. If you've got questions, if you were listening to this and said, wait a minute, what about her ability to build peer relationships or conflict resolution with her siblings? You guys didn't even do an activity for that. Yeah, we'd love to talk about that, right? We'd love to show a video about conflict resolution, but also on our YouTube page, there are other videos for that stuff. So if you do have questions like that or concerns or thoughts or comments as you're listening to the podcast, go ahead and find us on Facebook and send those to us because we read all of those and we will either respond directly to you and answer or we will address that question or concern directly on the podcast as well so that other people can benefit from the thoughts that you're having. Because if you're having those thoughts or questions or concerns, guaranteed other people are too, and we want to hear about it so that we can help as much as possible.
Okay, so I'm Chrissa Brown.
And I'm Julie Johnson, and we need a counselor.
And so do you.
Bye.
Bye.